I sat in the courtroom clutching my purse like it was the last solid thing left in my life. The judge's voice echoed through the room, calm and practiced, as if he were discussing the weather, not the collapse of my world. Custody is awarded to the paternal family. Assets in dispute, totaling $18 million, will be transferred as per the final ruling, just like that. $18 million. My home, my investments, and worst of all, my grandchildren. Gone. I didn't cry, not then. I couldn't. My body felt hollow, like grief had scooped me out from the inside. Across the room, my daughter-in-law, Vanessa, squeezed my son Mark's hand. She didn't look at me. She didn't have to. Her victory was complete. I remembered when Vanessa first entered our family. Sweet smile, soft voice, always offering to help. My late husband Richard had once whispered to me, "Watch the quiet ones." I hadn't listened. Richard had died 3 years earlier. Heart attack, sudden, cruel. He was the mind behind our wealth, real estate, offshore investments, old money discipline. When he died, I trusted Mark to handle things. That was my first mistake. The second was believing family meant loyalty. The court believed documents. Vanessa's lawyers presented papers claiming Richard had intended to restructure the trust. Papers I had never seen before. Papers that somehow appeared after his death. I tried to speak. My lawyer placed a gentle hand on my arm. "It's over," he whispered. When court adjourned, Mark walked past me without stopping. I finally broke. "Mark," I called, my voice cracking. "Those are my grandchildren." He paused, but only for a second. "You should have let things go, Mom," he said quietly. Then he walked away. That night I returned to the house. Richard built, the one the court allowed me to stay in temporarily. Every room echoed with memories, laughter, Christmas mornings, Richard's voice. I wandered into his study. That's when I saw it. The safe, hidden behind a painting I hadn't moved in years. My heart started pounding. Richard had always been meticulous and secretive when it mattered. I knelt, fingers trembling, and spun the dial. The combination came back to me instantly. Our anniversary. The lock clicked open. Inside were folders, USB drives, a leather-bound notebook, and on top, a single envelope with my name on it. I didn't open the envelope right away. I sat on the floor for a long time, staring at my name in Richard's handwriting. My hands shook, not from fear, but from something else. Hope. Finally, I opened it. My love. If you are reading this, then something has gone terribly wrong. And if Mark is involved, then I was right. My breath caught. Richard had suspected his own son. I flipped through the notebook. Dates, transactions, conversations, recorded word for word. Even voice transcripts from meetings Richard had secretly recorded. My husband had known. He had discovered that Mark and Vanessa were planning to move assets before his death using shell companies, forged intentions, and manipulation of trust language. And the court documents? They were fabricated. The USB drive contained everything. Original trust files, audio recordings, bank transfers, and emails Vanessa thought were deleted. But the most devastating part? Richard had foreseen the custody battle. There were videos. Videos of Vanessa admitting on camera that she wanted the grandchildren because their leverage. I collapsed into the chair, sobbing for the first time since court. But grief quickly turned into resolve. Richard hadn't left this for comfort. He left it for war. The next morning, I contacted a different attorney. Not the polite kind. The dangerous kind. He watched the footage once. Then he smiled. "They committed fraud," he said. "On the court, on you. And possibly criminal conspiracy." Within days, motions were filed. Subpoenas issued. Emergency custody reviews requested. Vanessa's smile vanished when investigators arrived at her door. Mark tried to call me. I didn't answer. The new court date came faster than anyone expected. This time I walked in carrying a small black case. When my lawyer spoke, the courtroom went silent. "Your Honor," he said, "the previous ruling was based on false evidence." The judge frowned. "What false evidence?" My lawyer nodded to me. I stood and pressed play. Vanessa's voice filled the courtroom. Clear, cold, calculated. The color drained from Mark's face. The judge's expression hardened. By the end of the session, the ruling was suspended. Assets frozen. Custody returned to temporary neutral care. Vanessa was escorted out by authorities. Mark sat alone, for the first time in his life. But justice wasn't finished yet. The final hearing lasted 6 hours. 6 hours where truth dismantled lies piece by piece. Experts verified the forged documents. Bankers confirmed illegal transfers. Psychologists testified about manipulation and coercion. Mark took the stand. He cried. He blamed Vanessa. He blamed pressure. He blamed fear. But the judge didn't blame anyone. He ruled full restoration of the original trust. All $18 million returned. Permanent custody granted to me, with supervised visitation for Mark only if approved. Vanessa was charged. When the gavel fell, I didn't feel victorious. I felt tired. Later that evening, my grandchildren ran into my arms laughing, unaware of how close they had come to being bargaining chips. That night I returned to Richard's study one last time. I put the envelope back in the safe, not as a weapon, but as proof. Proof that love sometimes looks like preparation. That trust must be earned, even by family, and that losing everything can sometimes be the only way to uncover the truth. I lost $18 million. I lost my grandchildren. But in the end, I found my husband's final gift, and I won back my life.